Oh, it's a live broadcast.
Yeah. Hey, folks, we're back at Tazzoni, at the wine bar I was at last night. And, I don't like to bother you, every night like this, but I ran into a Nobo who finished the trail October 13th, which is 2 days before they closed Baxter State Park. His name is... Taps. Now, how'd you get Taps?
So, when I started, I was like, instead of doing it by like miles or shelter to shelter, I was trying to like keep it very small increments, keep myself in line. So I was tapping every white blaze I saw.
You're one of those hardcore guys.
I started out like that.
You had to touch every white blaze?
I did for a while, for like 5 to 7 days. I was like, for a week I tried to get every one I could, and like I was getting literally off trail with my trekking poles to start tapping them.
No.
Dude, and then like once the energy expendicy thing came in, I was just like, I'm done with it, but the name stuck anyway, dude.
Alright, well, it's good to know that you're not into like funerals and doing like the Taps military song.
Well, people thought that, but the funny thing is, the restaurant next door is Tap House.
Taps. Right. So Tap the Keg.
Anyway.
So we've been talking a little bit, and I'm like, man, we got to save this for the podcast because I haven't had a guest on forever, because I only bring hikers on or someone that has to do with the trail. And we were really talking some cool stuff about the whites. And tell us some of the cool things you were telling me about your experience going north. Tell us about the beautiful weather you had. I want to hear about Mount Washington and that little deal. Tell us about that.
Dude, well, the whites, like, we just had the best weather you could possibly ask for. I mean, like, every day, cloudless. Besides Franconia Ridge, we had a little bit of, like, a cloudy thing up there. But besides that, I mean, like, the nicest weather, 70 degrees, no rain, no problems up there. And so it was so nice. We hiked to Mount Washington and actually stayed up under the cogs. It was about
so the cog railroad is the railroad that goes up Washington.
That brings the non-hikers.
It brings the non-hikers, since they've been doing it since 1800s. It's got this little cog on the bottom that helps it get up the mountain. That's why it's called the Cog Railroad. And you stayed right next to that sucker.
Yeah, we stayed right under it. If you like, when you get to the very top, it's got a little gap in it that.
Okay.
And it was just enough to fit a sleeping pad and like your sleeping bag on there. And so they're like sectioned off. So we had 11 different sections with like 2 people in each section spread across the whole way, man. And the funny thing is, we got up because we stayed up on Washington. They have chili dogs at the cafeteria.
Yeah, I had a big pizza and a hot dog and all that. Yeah.
And so we were talking about chili dogs for like weeks before I got up there. Like, we have to stop to get up there. So we stayed up there and we went into the cafeteria. They were like, y'all have fun up on the mountain last night. Like, we thought we were so stealthy. We thought no one knew we were up there. They knew we were up there.
Oh yeah, because they run the meteorology service. They're watching you.
Dude, but they just didn't care.
They didn't care.
They just allowed us to be up there. I mean,
well, what are they going to do? It's like we're going to run you off. Where are you going to go?
They're going to send us down into that. So we stayed up there, man. Beautiful sunset, beautiful sunrise. It was. It's probably the best day on the trail.
So one thing I want to explain is I went through in August, like early to mid-August, the hottest time of the year, and I froze my rear off up there. Like, it was getting down to freezing at night, highs maybe in the 40s or 50s, and blowing 30 miles an hour the entire time. You get up there in October or September.
It was late September,
when it should be freezing cold and people are wanting to get out of there.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite, because we had that big warm spell. When I was in Massachusetts, he was in September in the whites, and it was getting up in the 90s down the lowlands. And so it was 70 degrees on Mount Washington. That's unheard of.
It was beautiful, man.
So that's awesome, man.
Beautiful.
You lucked out.
We were talking to other like Mainers and people from New Hampshire, and they were like, "It's never like this. Like, you guys have we've never seen it like this before."
Okay, now we gotta get something straightened out here for all the people who've ever heard of the Dirty 30.
Yes.
Sitting beside me, Taps is a member of the Dirty 30. Now, there's a rumor going around that you're the biggest pieces of garbage on the trail.
We've heard.
And that you do some nasty things that you've earned that way, a very hard way. And you're telling me you're not that bad and that those are all rumors.
They are all rumors. The waffle stomping is 100% a rumor. We never waffle stomped.
We're in a nice restaurant and wine bar, but I'm going to try to tell you this without offending people. Waffle stomping is you go in the motel, you take a crap in the shower, and you push it down into the drain so that the next person that visits the motel thinks they're going to take a nice shower, and what happens? It gets plugged up with some dirty thru hiker's crap. Now, you're telling me that, which disgusts the heck out of me. And when I heard that, I was like, you damn nobos, what's wrong with you? And you're saying that never happened. And never even came across your mind that it was two old women that came up with this stuff and then blamed you on it.
They gave a hitch to one of our buddies, and they were like, oh, you ever heard of the Dirty 30? They're out here waffle stomping and just messing shit up along the trail. And he asked him what waffle stomping was. They told him, and he just lost it. He could not believe. He'd been away for us for 2 weeks, and he thought we just devolved into like the dirtiest creatures.
Yeah, well, let me explain something. If you make it up to New Hampshire or Maine, you have over 3/4 of the trail done. You're not a goofball.
Yeah.
If you make it that far, you know what you're doing. You're a serious person. Yeah, you may party because you guys were party animals, and my crew of Sobos were party animals too.
Yeah.
But you're not going to deface things.
No.
Because those people who like rot in the shelter, and, like carve stuff out and leave trash around
everywhere.
Those guys don't even make it to Virginia. They may make it up to about here, and then they're done.
Yeah.
They get out. They get off because they're not. They don't have their minds straight. So. Yeah. I believe you in what you say about the Dirty 30. It makes me feel a lot better because I've heard rumors about you guys, and I was like, man, what the heck?
Well, there was that, and then we had gotten banned from one of the hostels. So one of our good buddies got ahead, and he said, like, oh, you know about the Dirty 30? And he was like, well, yeah. He didn't say he was in it, although he was. He sent us a text and was like, hey, if you guys are Dirty 30, like, you're not welcome. Like, you're not welcome at this hostel because apparently someone said that we assaulted a hostel owner and then defaced a church sanctuary was another one. There was
no, hold on. Just let us know, which hostel is it?
So someone had said that Chet's place had kicked some of our guys out. Only 2 guys stayed at Chet's. And
wait, kicked you guys out for drinking?
Yeah.
And the girl got drunk?
Those must have been different guys.
Okay, well,
the 2 guys we had didn't get
Let me tell you something about Chet, and I hope he's listening, but of course he's not. But anyway, I wish he was. Chet's got some problems. Yeah, he blew himself up with a white gas stove.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit sorry. Why are you messing with a 50-year-old white gas stove anyway when you got isobutane or alcohol stoves? And then he berates me about, am I a real thru hiker when I go in there of, what's the last mountain? The last mountain I came off was Lafayette. That's not the last mountain because there's some little bitty mountain right.
Yeah.
I had no respect for Chet.
Really? I never got to meet the guy.
And evidently he's got this bipolar deal where he's really nice 1 minute and then the next minute he's just awful. And when I go to use the restroom at Chet's, there's a sign on the toilet that says, do not let Chet have any alcohol because his medications will not allow it. So I'm thinking, oh, that's the reason he doesn't allow alcohol here. Maybe he has issues. Now I don't mean to, maybe I'm totally off on that. We are live and the whole world's watching or can watch this. But just something wasn't right there. And I went there because Janet dropped me off.
Yeah.
I love Janet. Can't wait to see her in Irwin. She's cool as all get out. And that van was something else.
That van's awesome. The van is
I kind of just wonder what's going on there. So I hear what you're saying there.
Yeah.
And look, he's not a real hostel. It's just his house. He's got some bunks in there.
There was that rumor, and the church one, some guys that were not hiking with us but around us were smoking and drinking in the church apparently.
Yeah, well,
and that got tagged.
You can't do that one.
Exactly.
Was that in Mass or was that?
I think it was up north. It might have been Mass or it might have been Vermont.
I bet you that
Maybe it was Connecticut.
I bet you that was that church in Cheshire.
Yeah, that's actually
Catholic church.
Right. Yeah.
That was a cool
I didn't
place.
Stay there
but
either. We kept moving.
But you guys messed up by doing that.
Yeah, and see that Miss Janet told us that when we had the Dirty 30 from, probably from right around Gatlinburg's when the Dirty 30 was like really starting. We had everyone in there, and Miss Janet told us, she's like, if you guys have a big group of people, you're going to get things attached to you and things.
Yeah.
Rumors going to be spread about that, and that's what happened. Like it wasn't our group doing it, but because we were friends and we had the namesake, that got passed on to hostel.
So just explain about Janet. I don't know if we've talked about her on here or not. Janet runs a hostel down in Irwin, Tennessee. She's been running it for years. She's one of the most well-known hostel owners on the trail. She got bored I suppose, with doing just a regular hostel deal. So what she does is she follows the bubble of Northbounders all the way up in her van, and she takes care of them. And I mean, she does some crazy stuff. All right, so we have a few more minutes just because it's Christmas time. We have people coming in here, and but we stole a little table and we got this spot. But it's just such a relief to have. You're excited to see me.
Dude, I am, man. I haven't seen another hiker in 2 months.
And
now,
I haven't seen another Nobo since Vermont, and I haven't seen a Sobo since forever. So it's just really cool to have another hiker on here, and that's what this podcast is about, is talking to other hikers. Yeah. So this was an opportunity, and even though we did a podcast last night, I'm like, we gotta get this guy on. This is so much fun. So
you just don't run into many hikers at this point in your hike, or just in day-to-day life.
It's all done. It's pretty much me, and I got to finish this baby out, which is cool in its own way. But
it's a different sort of hike than the beginning.
It's really cool, and there's a lot more I could talk about with this guy. But we were just talking about how Maine and stories about New Hampshire and how cool it is. So it's just a blast getting to meet you, sir. And so. Anything else that's just really we got to get off here? Like, we were talking about some pretty cool stuff. Just one more thing.
One of the big things that I've come across recently, once I finished my hike, is that while I was hiking, I was always thinking about like what the completion of the hike would mean to me, like to mean to be a through hiker.
Yeah, get it finished up.
Yeah, and so like the more that I've had time to kind of process it since I've been home, it was less about completing it, and it was more about how great that 6 months were. I mean, those are the best days, some of the best days of my life.
It's not about the goal, but it's about what happened.
It's the journey to go into that.
But in a way, you had to complete the goal to think like that, so it all rolls together.
Yeah, as I was on the trail, I couldn't think about like ending it. But
see, I would have never thought of like that, but that's something for me to think about. Well,
and it's hit me a lot since I've been on.
I really appreciate it, Taps,
thanks, man. Yeah.
And having a good time. And I did a 0 here. I'm still in Delville. I come back to the same wine bar because this place is so cool. And anyway, you guys take care and enjoy the game tonight. I'm really looking forward to some football.